Hello everyone, this is Enayat Meer. I am going to perform this lab which contains different four sections: installing and configuring Windows deployment services, creating operating system images with Windows deployment services, configuring custom computer naming, and deploying images with Windows deployment services. So here, if you can see on the right side, we have four different sections. Each section contains about 17 to 22 steps, so which you see here. This section is a first section which indicates about 22 steps. Then you have a second section with the section 2, creating operating system with Windows images deployment services. This has about 17 steps. And then you have a third section. This section also have all the way down to 24 steps, and this is about configuring custom computer naming. And the section number 4 contains again, I believe 17 steps, where you gonna go and perform these all different sections. And you always can go and look at the intro about this lab, and this is all info about the lab. What are you going to achieve after the lab? So they will give you the scenario and also objective of this lab, what you are going to get after completing this lab. So here is the detail. You always go and click on continue, and once you continue, then you'll be able to perform lab steps. So you might have all steps of the lab, otherwise I'm going to perform and you will take a look how this works of this. So first we're gonna go and do installing and configuring Windows deployment services section. So we have to click on machines. In this way you will see that how many machines we have. We have LONSVR1, this is a server name. Then we have a LON-DC1, and this is the third one is LON-SVR3. So our domain controller is a 2411B-LON-DC1. So yeah, this is supposed to be on, which is right over here. You always can click on machine commands, and first you use a Control-Alt-Delete. Then you're gonna paste your password. So you could save a little time to go and type things manually. And we are on LONDC1, which is a London, not London, I'm sorry, a datum.com domain. And this contains an active directory, which is a datum.com, which is actually a name of this domain, which we are using in labs. And this all these all containers you can see in this one. Then we're gonna go into SVR1. Okay, this is a member server, and we're gonna perform work on here. So server manager should be launched automatically when you start your server operating system. First I will go under my Control-Alt-Delete again and paste my password to log in. So click on enter. So you will be able to log in. So we're gonna actually use add roles and features option from this screen. And keep in mind, I'm not going to rush and I'm not going to go too fast. So you have to be carefully do whatever I am doing and follow me along. And sometimes you may or may not see audio with this. Sometimes I tape this without audio, sometimes I use audio, either ways. So I'm gonna go slow and steady, you will see. So first we have to go into server manager, which is by default there. Then you have to use this under manage option, add roles and features, which I did. Okay, and first window, just read it. Next, and then installation type, just read that it is a role based or feature based installation. So you click on next on this window and you will see that which server is there. So installation type, you will see that now you will see the destination server. So destination server is the one where you are going to install this role. So this is a LON-SVR1, which is a member of edatum.com with this current IP address. So I'm gonna go and click next. So this is a list of roles and whatever roles and you want to install otherwise. So we are looking for with the W Windows deployment services, and this will ask you also about add features as well. So this is a Windows deployment services which is not installed because it is not checked or grayed out. So this will ask me to install features because we need role administration tool, Windows deployment services tool. So we have no option other than to say yes, add features, and click next. So we are going to adding these features and next, and this is our next page where you just gonna click on next button to continue. And we do have .NET Framework 4.5 featured installed. So I will continue and just read. You can pause and read the information, especially like things to note, and click on next. And we are going to install a deployment server and transport server. So you can read on the right side about the deployment server when you highlight it. So provides the full functionality of Windows deployment services which you can use to configure and remotely install Windows operating systems. And this is a next transport server and provides a subset of functionality of Windows deployment services. It contains only core networking parts which you can use to transmit data using multicasting on a standalone server. You should use this role service if you want to transmit data using multicasting but do not want to incorporate all of Windows deployment services. So I would simply say next. It is important to guys for you to read the information. So here we have our confirmation page. Okay, so I will say just install because I need to have this role installed. So now this will take a while to install, but it is quick, not much slow. Okay, so installation is done. So all features are installed. So I would say simply close. Okay, so this section is done or this task is done. So now we are going to configure Windows deployment services. So to get this now, because we just installed this role and related features, so we're supposed to have this under tools menu. So you will go into tools menu and go again alphabetically to look for where is Windows deployment services. If it's not, we can refresh, but it is right over here, Windows deployment services. So let's open this console and you will see how this console looks like. Okay, so you will go here, servers, and here you have your LON-SVR1.edatum.com. So this is actually your server and you need to configure this server. So actually this server role is installed but not configured. So you have to right click and choose configure this server. Once you do that, I would suggest that to read installation configuration options here before you begin. Once you do, then you can click on next. Then it depends then if you have Active Directory or not. Okay, so here I do not have actually Active Directory on this server itself. but I will go with the default option for now. This server is a member of Active Directory Domain Services (ADDS) domain or domain controller for Active Directory Domain Services. So we still can, but this is not a standalone server. So this is a member server. So you can choose this option, integrate with Active Directory, and you click on next. And this is a default location. So I will leave as a default. So in your root drive, you will see this is my root drive, where you gonna see that this folder will pop up when actually I install this one. So this will be part of uh, installation. That's where I gonna have folder. Okay, the volume selected is also the Windows system volume. For best performance and data reliability, the remote installation folder should be stored on a separate volume, and where possible on a separate disk from the system volume. So do you want to continue? I would say no, only when I have an additional available drive to install. So I would say yes, I would go for the default settings. And here you got to choose do not respond to any client computers, respond only to known computers. So I will make it respond to all client computers, known and unknown. So that's the option I'm gonna choose for now. So you have a little bit less restrictions, because this is a pixie environment, or is like a pre-bootable executable environment. And yeah, I will choose this option for now and click on just next and leave everything as it is. And now this widget of configuration, you have successfully configured Windows deployment services. To modify any of the server settings, right click the server and click properties, and you will see actually on the way how you will do this one. Okay, so I will click on finish. Okay, so this one part is done, and that's where you can actually add the image. So I will say cancel this one. You want to stop adding the image, so I'm gonna cancel this step at least, but I have these all options available now because I configured my server. So you always can go back and do other work here. This is now all options you are going to see. So but that was the first step which I performed, installed and configured this Windows deployment server services. And now we also can verify that my C drive, my root drive, should have this remote install folder. There is default folders are available, but if you're gonna click on the boot image, it will show you the boot image and images on that one which is empty right now. So we are going to actually populate this folder, and that is our next step. So we can go ahead and create operating system image with the Windows deployment services. So this will be our next task. Now here is a little bit trick to have a boot image. In Hyper-V, you browse from DVD and get the image from your physical computer. So here we're gonna change the basic view to detailed view, and then we will scroll down actually media. This we are working on SVR3, so we'll scroll down to Windows Server 2012 RTM. So that is the DVD which we're gonna use to implement get this actually image. So we are going back to our deployment services console, and here we were before. Okay, so now we will go and add image. So here we have install image, and here we have a boot image. So what we're gonna do here, we will add a boot image. So you know that the path now we have our DVD. So whichever DVD letter is, we're gonna browse into, right? So we're gonna go click on the browse button, and we'll look for the DVD. We're gonna go scroll down, which is only one DVD, and we just actually inserted this Windows 2012 RTM in it. So we are looking for image file. So we have this DVD available. So here we're gonna use installation DVD to get our image. So we are going to browse the path which is under sources, and boot.vim is about 200 megabyte file. So we're gonna go here, and this is our default image file path. We're gonna click on next, and we have this name of the image, what you are looking at right now, and we have a description. We are going to accept the default option and click on next, and this is our summary page. We are actually adding this the sources boot.vim image. I'm going to click on next button here, and this will take a while, few minute or second you could say, to install that image. This is only 192 megabyte, as you know that this is not a big file, but we have this boot image ready and installed on our WDS. Alright, so now we're gonna have this boot image. We're gonna install image group. Now you right click on the install image, and you're gonna add image group, and you are working with Windows Server 2012. So I would give them the same name as indicated, Windows Server 2012. So this way you will keep track how we doing that one. So this is the install image name, which is a Windows. Let me open this window right from here. Oh, Windows Server 2012. The next is, now we have to add install image. So you right click on Windows Server 2012. You have to browse to D. You can manually type D, but here we're gonna need install.vim. So as you see, let me see how big is that. You will see when you point out that this is 9.92, not a megabyte, guys. This is a 9.92 gigabyte, but this includes other operating systems as well. Let's pick this one up, click on open, and this is the sources install.vim. This is the file which contains the multiple operating systems. So let me indicate that here. Again, this is a little bit hard to track like this, but I'm going to pick exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so here we have Windows Server 2012 standard, and standard core, standard. We don't want data center, any kind of data center. We don't want a regular standard. So what I gonna do here, we're gonna choose standard core. Alright, and click on next button on that one, and this is the installation image and adding Windows images. Since you see that we have about 9 point some gigabyte files, but we unchecked 3 operating systems, still this is a big file, the big image, so it will take a while. So let's go and let it finish first. Alright, it's done. So we added boot image, and keep in mind that boot.vim and install.wim vim. So these two files we added into this WDS, and also you know that these are under source tab. Okay, so this is my Explorer, this is my DVD, and you can open DVD and look at that one under boot you're gonna see sources tab contains these two files. Okay, so let me go back to straight to DVD. What contains complete DVD here, and you right click and open your DVD. Okay, I just clicked on the somehow I clicked on setup.exe. It's gonna say install now, which are the operating system you want to install. I got four of them. So this is our boot folder, and going back here, and this is our sources folder, and sources contain those two files. Okay, which is these are the two big files, boot.wim and install.wim. So you can look at those. Let me go down, going alphabetically, and let me go back here. Where are those guys? Let me get that. And boot should be in the very beginning, just to make sure that this is the boot.wim, which is 190 some megabyte. And now we go to alphabetically install.vim. So that is also a big size in the file here. Install.vim is about showing you about 3 gigabyte actually. So go to the properties, and 2.92. So I read wrong before, it seems like, so I was reading something else. So this is about 2.92 gigabyte file, which we just actually deployed into our WDS. So I'm gonna cancel this one, and we're gonna continue into the next section. So here, up to now, I believe you understood what we have done so far. We did installation, adding boot image, and adding install image. So now we can configure a custom computer name. So that is the next thing. So we have to go back into our WDS, and we have to go to the properties of WDS, because we are looking for ADDS tab, which is right over here, Active Directory Domain Services tab. So here, format text box, we're gonna change this to the branch SVR with the percentage 02 and number. Okay, so we're gonna have to change this. Whatever the default, we're gonna change this one. I'm gonna change this to branch, and we're gonna have a dash SVR, and we're gonna have a dash, and we will leave it the percentage sign here, and we will take out this 61 and username, and I will put here 02, and I will leave that number sign in it. And this is the customized naming policy. I just put the customized, you could say this is a customized form. And we also gonna change the computer account location, and we will go to following location option, and we will gonna browse into our domain. So adatum.com is our domain name. Okay, gonna click on research. Okay, so research is an organizational unit which is basically used in our Active Directory. So I'm gonna choose this one, research, and click on OK. We will talk about the organization units actually later on in some other sections. Here now this part is done also. I will go and configure now administrative approval. So administrators have to be approved. So we're gonna go one more time on our properties. Okay, and we will actually work a lot about under the properties to complete certain tasks. So we're gonna choose PXE is a pre-bootable executable environment tab, and from this tab we're gonna actually require administrator approval for unknown computers. Okay, so here we have require administrator approval for unknown computers option available, so I'm gonna choose this one instead of going to do not response options. So then we have to adjust respond time, so we can set up in seconds. So I will go and set up with 3 seconds. So yeah, this is the setup I have. Okay, so response time is 3 seconds, like delays in seconds. Click on OK. Alright, so we're gonna now use a PowerShell. I will tell you about the PowerShell. I just gonna let me type the command. I'm gonna come back because it is a long command. Alright, so actually I took about an hour or more break, so I had to go and come back. So I am back here with this message, administrator approval message WDS UTIL, and you read the message, pause it, read it, and click on continue with that one. So let's see if this is working. Have to hit enter. All right, deployment services management utility, this is this, and okay, the command completed successfully. All right, so this is an online lab. I have a 20 minutes, but I will get extension each time. Each 15 minutes I could get extension because I really don't want to restart this lab again. So now we're gonna do configuration of Active Directory domain services permissions. Okay, so I'm going back to my main server, which is my DC1 or domain controller. That's where now we're gonna work on our DC1. It's coming up. It's been quiet for a while. Okay, it's came back and it's already started. Okay, you know that in server 2012 you can access to your command line by using this indication right from this small corner here, which is right over here. You go to the command line and misspell, and from command line you can launch your Active Directory by using dsa.msc, and we were working on a datum research OU, I believe that was indicated before, research OU, where we have these all users. So in Active Directory I can run a delegation of control visit. So let's do that first. So because we want to delegate control for this container, research container, so I will start a visit from delegation of control from top of this container. Alright, so here we look for object type, and location object types. The object type is by default is actually users and groups, whatever, and I want to select this computers container because we need to bring up this SVR1, a computer container, because we're going to delegate a control to computers container. So now we will type the name of the computer, LON-SVR1, and check names. If we have it, it will show up. So it showed up. So now we are going to delegate a control to LON-SVR1. So the control what we're gonna provide is, you have multiple ways to provide here. So we are looking for a custom task, because we don't want to give him some partial permission or complete permission about certain objects. So what I'm gonna do here, instead of using the top portions here, these are the all partial permissions which I can provide. I will go into the partial task for computer objects. Okay, because that's the word, the only the following objects, and I can choose this. for the computer objects option right from this point. And we are not deleting, we are creating objects, so I would choose this option because I want to give a full control on computer objects. Okay, so we can just simply choose full control, and you could see that these all permissions are available. Okay, so we are giving full control permission on computer objects. This is a summary, but you can read this summary here and then click on the finish. So this part is also done. Alright, so the next thing is we're gonna do a deployment images with Windows deployment services part. So, and then we will configure a Windows deployment services server for multicast transmissions. For that, we go to server manager and click on tools, and we are on wrong server. Okay, the DC has no installation of WDS. So we go to the client PC. From the client, yes, we will go into server manager and tools. Definitely we have a WDS installed. So Windows deployment services, where you're gonna expand our server, and you will look for a multicast transmission option. You go right click and create a new transmission name. I gonna indicate this is a Windows server 2012 branch server, and the image group. So we're gonna choose an image group for this name, and we have a right image group already there because this is the only image group what we have. So we're gonna select this image group and click on next. All right, and we're gonna choose auto select. Alright, the next and finish. Okay, so this is image group and image name. We already worked on this before, and this part is done as well. Now we have a LON-SVR3. This is a blank computer. So you can highlight this to indicate, and we can restart or start this computer, because we need to know this is a PXE environment, so this is a Pixie boot environment. So we are rebooting this PC, and it will give us a message here, download whatever Windows deployment service Pixie boot about it. Okay, so this mean there is a problem with the device, boot failure. So we're gonna actually go and check and look at that, where the problem is, why we did not boot, or why Pixie boot did not work. So this is troubleshooting, so let me troubleshoot and come back to you and tell you what happened. Okay, let's try one more time. This will be about it, so we should not take that much time to hit F12. So let's try one more time. But whenever we see the message F12 right now, so now it is going to connect. So there was nothing wrong, I just took it a longer to connect to F12. So on the top you're gonna see the request we indicated before, which is before this connection, the datum administrator is authorizing this request. And if you remember, we have done this by using a PowerShell. So there was a PowerShell command. We while it is booting, so I'm gonna go back to that. My mouse is stuck here. When it starts the widget, I can go back. My PowerShell is still open, and but that is the main point where we are right now. Okay, so we are communicating with the DHCP server for Pixie boot. So this is my lab time. On the top is showing me that your lab time has only 10 minutes left, but anyway, lab is done. I have done all of the steps, and from here once it is connected, it will reboot, it will start installing operating system, and that's all. So we are done. So okay, so let's see if it connects. It will connect anyway, because we do have this all set up. So what we did in this lab here, we did 4 different sections. In this way we installed WDS, we configured, we installed the boot image, we installed the install image with the WIM, Windows Imaging Format. Then we simply had a client computer which is a SVR3, a new client computer which had no operating system, so which we are trying to boot this client PC. It is now trying to connect to the DHCP server. Alright, thank you everyone to watch this video, and I would recommend that play this all video back one more time step by step to understand this one. And I'm going to stop here and going to prepare for a second video. Thank you again, and this is Enayat Meer. Bye.